Welcome back to my channel. This is episode 4 of season 14 of Heartland, titled Through the Smoke. An explosion caused by a train derailment starts a wildfire that threatens the town of Hudson. Obviously, we're going to be worrying about the animals, and this is probably going to be a great opportunity for Lou to step up and show her skills as mayor. Now, I wanted to point out something from the last episode where the article came out and was very favorable, and then Lou saw like the critics comment about her family and stuff, and I'm thinking, but the thing is that her family involved in the community. So if they do a tourism thing, it is going to benefit her family, because even if they don't do anything with the cattle business, maybe someone would stay at the Dude Ranch. Maybe they'd eat it at Maggie's. You know, they are involved in the community, so it's going to happen. Just like with this, they will be involved in the community and help getting through this explosion. So, it's pretty scary. So hopefully the animals will be okay. Hopefully there won't be too many that are dead. Hopefully we'll get a reason as to why we had the trade war. Let's get started. Oh shit. There's Tim. We didn't see him in the last episode.
You need to get a fire crew out here to Highway 7 and Foothills Pass. The railway tracks. Is there a fire? Yeah.
No
It's been an explosion, like a derailment. Fire's burning out here under control.
You get the fucking horses out of there too. You know, don't leave the animals behind in something like that. They don't deserve it. That's one thing about what's going on there in East Palestine is it breaks my heart hearing about the animals. Someone said that their cats died, from, I don't know if it was breathing in or if they got some water or something. But their cats died. And of course, me being a cat mom, that breaks my heart. But I'm like, you get the animals out of there, You grab Remy, you grab the horses, you get them out, And Lou's like, you need to get out of there to Amy. And I'm like, fuck no, she's gonna take care of the horses, as she should. Her duty is to the horses, And it's like, she's gonna need help. So, Lily is not dead weight. Lily can help. Lily wants to help. Lily's caring about these horses. Granted, she's probably also trying to protect her investment, but she could have just focused on Howler, not the rest of them. But she's willing to help get those horses out of there. So that's what you do. You get them the fuck out of there. You get the horses out first, and then you get out.
And Amy is. We can get an emergency alert out to people's phones, right?
Yeah, and you need to give a live address that goes out on TV, radio, and all social media. And remember, be gentle with the messaging. We don't want anyone to freak out.
They should be freaking out. I'm freaking out. If that thing blows, this could be a major disaster.
That's the kind of wording you should say.
This is not like Jack. I know that he feels like he doesn't have time because he had to go look for Parker. If he didn't have to look for Parker, he could have run out to the barn and gotten the horses. But still, I'm with Parker on this. Amy would never forgive him if anything would happen to the horses, and I wouldn't either. I love Jack, and I don't want to have to end up hating Jack because he makes a bonehead move, Amy seems to be the only one thinking about the animals, the horses, Lou is telling people, get out of there, and I'm like, Lou, you should be saying, get your animals as well. Get them out. This chlorine will kill the horses. You get the freaking horses out. If these people are horse people, they would understand that, and they would want to protect their animals. I mean, you can damn well bet. I may just have cats, but you can damn well bet that if something like that happened that was going to come towards us and was deadly, you can damn well bet one of the first things I would be doing is wrangling up my 3 cats. I would put them in their carriers, and then I would run around and grab whatever I need. My phone, my wallet, whatever I would need. And I would get in my car and I would get the hell out of here. But I would not leave without my animals. And neither would my brother. He's got a cat too. He would do the same thing. He would grab her and get out. You leave no one behind. You leave no living being behind. It makes me think of like the wildlife, but wild animals are a little more adapted to stuff like this. So like squirrels, birds, coyotes, they would have heard the explosion and they would have ran. They would have gotten out. It's more of the domestic animals like the horses or the dogs or the cats that need their people. And if any of you would leave your animals behind, then you are just a horrible person. I'm sorry, but you are. Because your animals are family. And in a situation like that, you get all your family and you get out. You do not leave anyone behind. Oh, shit.
Fowler?
That's okay.
Baby, I told you I'm not leaving him behind.
What do you want me to do? I want you to go around behind him, hold him there steady, and I'm going to try and get a little.
He's kind of become like Ghost Horse. She always saw Ghost Horse in a certain situation, and now she's seeing Ty. So now, of course, Ty is basically going to lead her to Lily. Again, though, I'm wondering why they took his name out of the front credits when they could have just left him since we're still seeing him. Is it because he's not speaking? I mean, he's still part of the cast, and there have been cast members who, like Chris Potter, his name was still in the cast even if he wasn't in an episode. So it just seems to me they could have kept him in those opening credits instead of saying with Graham Wardle, just keep him in the opening credits. Rick applauds Lou for what she did. He said, yeah, they're listening. Good job. And, Peter had said about the Middleton fire crew is now on the scene. And I'm thinking, yeah, if they would have said not to do it, I would have said, look, who's the mayor here? I am. I don't care the cost. We're getting them there. I'll say, if nothing else, it'll look good favor. The Middleton crew. I mean, where I am, there have been times when I've heard, maybe there's a fire or something, and they call in other fire departments. It happens sometimes. Hell, back, I think it was last year when the hurricane hit Florida and the power went out, we had crews from Mid-American here in Iowa. They went down to Florida. In a crisis like that, you call in, you help, like fuck what they're saying about, favor or whatever, and fuck what it's going to cost. In a situation like that, you find a way to pay it. I think our crew was kind of enjoying it, because, hey, they got paid big bucks to do that too. And they probably got paid mileage on the way down there and everything. So think about how that would have worked out for them, and for them, it was a bit of an adventure. So, and that's what you do. In a situation like that, you help out regardless, so I'm glad that Lou finally came to her senses and is like, we're gonna get this taken care of, finally get that crew, that was a Milton crew. You never know, maybe another crew will come in and help too, because that's what I was saying is, they don't have that many people there to take care of the fire, but they need to, or the train, but they need to worry about the other parts and where it's spreading. They need to get that contained too. And that's what the other crews can be doing. Yes, they didn't show them fade away. You walked across the entire screen. Do they not have the fading editing option? He's still with you. He took you to Lily. They did a good job. And yeah, I think Lou just won her re-election right there for how she handled it, you know. I mean, I get what Rick was saying, you know, about being gentle, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you have to be firm. Sometimes you have to be blunt in order to get the point across, you know? And when she did that, people were like, oh, okay, yeah, we will take this seriously. But, you know, by sugarcoating and saying, oh, it's a potential threat, some people are like, well, I'm not going to do anything about a potential threat. No. I'll stick around, and if it gets bad, then I'll leave. Instead of saying, you need to get the fuck out now. You know, they're like, oh, well, you don't want to create panic. Well, I hate to say it, but sometimes you have to. In a situation like that, you know, yeah, you kind of do. You kind of have to say to them, you know, be sensible about this, but get out now. So, as they were saying, it sounded like that other fire crew made the difference because they were able to contain everything. And I like how Tim had that connection with that person, and they were able to get those horses a ride and get them to safety. And yeah, like Parker was saying, Amy would never forgive him if anything happened to the horses, especially Spartan. Georgie would never forgive him if anything ever happened to Phoenix. I just hope they also got the horses from the Dude Ranch too. Because I think Venus kind of hangs out at the Dude Ranch. And if something would have happened to Venus, and then when they said to evacuate, where the hell was Mitch? Why was she not in touch with Mitch? I mean, she was on the phone with him at the beginning, like when they first talked about the explosion. But you think that she would have been contacting him, making sure that he got the message to get out. You think he would have come to help where he could have. So where the hell was Mitch during all this?
Stubborn, defiant, difficult.
Think of a couple more words too, but I was gonna say brave. Despite your blatant disregard for my authority.
I'm sorry, Jack.
You might want to think of doing that with your mom and dad too.
Yeah.
You know, just tell them how you feel. Tell them what you really want them to know.
Yeah.
I know I can't keep blaming you for everything that happened. And I should have left a long time ago.
Yeah.
I just keep using him as a crutch. It's time for me to stand on my own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's going to be tough.
I didn't do what you did today. You know, just be honest. You.
Yeah, tell her what you told Peter, that about the Ty being a brother and the pain.
I did. I missed you so much. Oh.
Hey, your daughter was helping us make brownies for dinner.
Yes, I can see that.
Hey, can I borrow your mom for just a minute?
Sure.
Thanks, honey. Probably the most stressful day of my life. But I wanted to talk to you about what you said earlier. I don't think now's the right time. Maybe not. But
Is
there
it
is no
ever?
right time to admit that I've been a terrible sister to you. It was true. I completely threw myself into being there,
Mm-hmm.
into my work, because I didn't know how to deal with it, Amy. I
The
didn't know
process.
how to deal with just how unfair this has been to you. I completely checked out on you, and I'm so sorry for that, Amy. I'm really sorry. Hey, you're here now. It's okay.
Gave her awfully fast.
Are we okay? We're good. Good. That is so good to hear, because there's been something I have been dying to tell you about. Something
Mitch.
you would normally be the first person I would talk to about.
What is it?
Mitch asked me to marry him. And I said yes.
You're getting married?
I'm so happy for you. Are you sure? Are you totally good with this?
I'm so happy for you.
It's so good to hear. Come on, let's go inside. I can finally tell everyone else. We can all use a reason to celebrate. I should check on Spartan first. I'll be right there. I'll just make sure the girls have flour and sugar the whole kitchen, okay?
Yeah. It's understandable. As you could tell, Amy obviously is happy for her sister. But yeah, you could see she wasn't exactly thrilled. She can be happy but not thrilled. Like I said, it's kind of like Rachel on Friends, how she was really happy for Monica, but at the same time sad because of her situation. And those feelings are valid, you know? Amy's feelings are valid. Yes, she's definitely happy for Lou, but it's understandable that she might be standing there and processing the fact that Lou is going to be getting married and starting her life with Mitch. She still has to adjust to this new normal with just her and then. So that's valid. You know, Amy said it was irresponsible, and I'm like, saving those horses was irresponsible? What kind of role model would that be for Lindy if you had just left them? Lindy would grow up knowing Mommy had an opportunity to save these horses and she let them go. I never want to hear Mommy talk about how important life is, or how, you know, how in a situation like that you get everyone out. Like, I never want to hear her say that because she let those horses go. Amy would have been a hypocrite if she had done that. And I will say again, I like that we had this crisis going on and Peter was there. You know, I will forever support Lou and Peter. Even though they're on different paths, even though she's now engaged to Mitch, because I still feel like their divorce didn't have to happen. You know, I feel like they could have done, like I said, the whole thing with marriage counseling. Why was that never brought up? Again, on that Heartland channel, you know, sometimes from the episodes that I catch, you'll see like when they've been separated, or the episodes where they are talking about the divorce and whatnot. And I'm thinking, why did you guys never try the whole marriage counseling? That might have helped. Maybe it wouldn't have, but maybe it would have. Again, they could have made things work. I've said my piece on that, but it was nice seeing Ty, of course, their leader. And that's what I was saying, like, hopefully Graham Wardle could still come back. The window is open, that if, even though Ty is officially dead, you could still see him, because we've seen the ghosts, you know, we've seen that, we've seen Little Vernon, we've seen Lindy, we've seen Marion, we've seen these ghosts come back. So it is a very real possibility in season 16, 17, 20, whatever, that Graham Wardle does return every so often. But it is sad that he's no longer there and that they have to deal with. You know, they said something that made me think of Supernatural, which I'm trying to remember. And of course I'll remember it after I stop the camera. But another thing I was thinking about with this show is how most of the actors have stuck around, which on a separate note is also like Supernatural, because I went on for 15 seasons and the two main actors stayed for all 15 seasons. And this is unusual. Granted, you know, Graham Wardle only stayed in for like 14 seasons, but most of the actors, you know, Amber Marshall, Michelle Morgan, Chris Potter, Sean Johnston, have been there from the beginning, and they're still there. And that is definitely unusual with the show, especially when a show goes on for that long, that the same cast stays. I think it's great. that that's happened. I think it says a lot about the show, and also probably the production, you know, when they're there working. I bet it's probably a positive environment, otherwise they wouldn't stick around. But it does say a lot. And again, like on a show like Supernatural, the two main leads, they had opportunities that they turned down because they were dedicated to Supernatural and they wanted to see it through, and they saw it through for 15 seasons. These guys too. You know, Amber Marshall has been there for 16 seasons. Sean Johnston, 16 seasons. Chris Potter and Michelle Morgan. Graham Wardle's been there for 14. But still, that's a lot of time. But it's great to see that there are still shows out there that keep the cast the entire time. Thank you for joining me for this reaction. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Were you kind of pissed at Amy like I was, or even at Jack, that they could have actually let those horses die? I mean, luckily the crisis was averted, but, you know, in the long run, I don't think Amy would have been happy if they had left the horses. In retrospect, she would not have been happy to come back and find out that Spartan had died. Or Shadow. I hope you all are having a great day and a great week, and I will see you for episode 5. Sounds like one of the wild horses is forced out of his group, so we might have another horse that is gentled. And I will see you for that next time. Bye.